Hello everyone, this is CJ, also known as Rocketboy5, and welcome to a how-to for Source Filmmaker. This one is going to be Ninjala's OCs for Source Filmmaker. Instead of, I was originally kind of thinking about doing Blender next. Why not just use that last? That way you can get an idea of what you need to do in Gmod Source Filmmaker, and when you're ready, you can try and make something in here in Blender. Of course, you can always go to your Steam and then pick your source filmmaker. Since I already have this preset for 4K, that's not ideal for me for doing recordings because I always use the 4K SFM for rendering my photos. As you probably tell, there is a reason why there is 720p, 1080p, and 4K is because I have it set the resolution dash SFM underscore resolution and 1080 with the window of 1280 by 720. That way, it's still in a way it's still using the resolution of 1080p, but it's using the window size of 720p. But you could also put this as 720p if you wish, but mostly I just keep it as 1080p resolution with the 720p. Of course, this is the standard 1080p. And lastly, this one's, like I said, reason why this is different because I want the resolution higher, so when I do my renders, it will be in 4K. But since I am streaming / recording, since I makes this a little more tedious, we're gonna use 720p. Yep, we know. So go ahead and click it. So these is just optionals. The reason I do it because I have an option to do 4K. And of course, this will give you a warning say, hey, this is not the right resolution. Make sure it's the correct resolution. I really don't care. I already have a Ninjala How To ready to go. You can also make your own if you already know how to do the camera, the lighting. This is remember. I was gonna say that before I forget. This is already if you already know how to make the camera, do the camera work. You know how to make lights. Especially there's the shadows up to 8. That's why you want to make sure the lights, any of your lights have shadows off until you want a certain shadow in your model and whatnot. And just the basic function how you use the program. So we're going to be doing how to make the character in here. So go ahead to your save file of choice or a new session. If you're doing a session, make sure you load a map and pick which area you want with the camera, and then work off with the work session. Okay, I have another download. Okay, that's fine. We're good. Now I do not want to unsubscribe. Yes to all. Gotta love these updates sometimes when at the most convenience. Yep. Let's do like this. Well, we're still waiting for the map to load. There we go. As you probably tell, there's the same character we just did on Gary's mod. We're gonna go ahead and put this in group so that way we don't only see those. And okay, and then that one not too as well. Oh, we're still in the work camera. Alright, we have less lights, that's fine. As you probably tell, this is the finishing model that we want to go try again. Let's go ahead and unsee those. Go ahead and right click your animation set editor blank area. Make sure you pick new model. And make sure you type in here props Ninjala. One of them, of course, we need the eyeball. There's a good reason why we have this eyeball. Just like in Gmod, but this eyeball is a lot different than the other one. You'll see why in a second. Oh yeah. Make sure you add a slash characters. That's why we have the main 8. In this case, we're going to recreate the model, so we're going to go for Jane. Alright, now we want to right click Jane, add overwrite materials. Same applies to the eyeball. Now go to the right click the eyeball again, show in Elemental Viewer the model. Now you want to go to materials, and then right here, this is all your eyes. So in this case, we want the green eyes. Open this tree branch, so look for material name, empty name, and then select all of this, copy it, in this case Control C, go back to your animation set editor. Now do the same thing for Jane. Right click, show an element of viewer, the model, go to materials. Now with the eyes, like this, since we can't change these, we need to modify it. In this case, right click, add attribute, then string. Usually with any kind of materials, it would be a $, base, texture. But since we're working with eyes with the eye reflect materials, this is wrong. You want to type in iris. And same applies with this one. Alright. Now in this empty box, you want to hit paste, enter, paste, enter. And there we go. Now we got our eyes. Now we can go ahead and get rid of the eyeball. We don't need that anymore. Of course, you can also use the eyeball just for goof and laugh for the eye pop outs. But we're not doing that. So we'll go ahead and get another model in. This time we want hair. And this one has, oh, it's already at the bottom. Looking, there it is. Braided. Yeah, I could also look at the name. Usually I try not to look at this area, because to me that's kind of like cheating. Alright. Now to get this on here, right click Jane, set body groups, hair. I guess he forgot to change the gradient name, but alright, it'll probably be updated down the road. Then go here and pick none. Then this is all gone. Now click and hold Jane and select it onto this one. Oh yeah, make sure you're on this as well. That way we can actually see, because if it's on this, it's going to be on the rendered showing, but we don't want to do that. We want to go into the motion editor so we can actually do some motion. Or, well, we're not actually doing any video editing, so, but we still need it so we can actually do some movement. In this case, moving this over here. Usually you grab the 0 and just drag it. But the problem is right here, this is not dragged on the bib head or the root transformation. So that's going to act like all confused. So open this up. See, there's the only one locked. Grab this one and do the lock with the 0. Now, as you see, the hair is now completely correct. So if I want to go like right here and then change to this one. By the way, to quickly change these, it also shows the key buttons. Select. This one is the move. This is the rotation, and this is the whole screen. For me, I want to use motion. So if I want to actually move the hair and whatnot, that's one way of doing it. That's not going to help me, but here, right here, let's get rid of some of those. So that way, we have less visuals. Actually, we should do the same thing for this, just in case. All right, now we got the hair. Let's give it its color. Same apply, add override materials. Then show in element viewer, models, materials. Actually, we do want the gradient on this one. Luckily, unlike the proxy color tool in Gary's mod, you don't have to do that situation where you want to make sure it's on, to then click on the proxy color tool with that with this hair, and then you get what you need. You just go in here and actually see it in this. All right, now open all these if you want to use gradient. If not, then just leave this alone. But since we do, we want to mess with this. In this case, the hairband, I think I remember we had it darker red. So we go ahead and use this slider here and darken it up. Base color, we had it more like a teal. Yeah, the light always does that. Don't ask me why. I'm going to drag this over here. And then we drag this all the way up to here. Give it that nice color look. Okay, next one we want to do is these eyebrows. Easiest way is right click this, copy it, go back to Jane, element viewer, model, go look for hair. Since the hair and eyebrows are attached with the same texture, just go to here, right click this, paste, boom, you're done. Unless you want different other colors, that's totally up to you. Shoot, I don't care if you have the gradient as the eyebrows. Everyone's to each their own. Now the fun part. Now we need the clothing. So once again, in the models, get rid of the hair and then type in clothing. So in this case, I'm going to cheat it. So it needs the sweatsuit. You can also go ahead and backslash and go sweatsuit. Do the same thing here, Jane, over to the sweatshirt, and then zero it in. We'll get to this part in a second. We want to get everything on her. Just like in Gary's mod, you could also, we did the same thing here. We can actually get rid of the clothing. We want to keep the shirt, not the pants, and not its shoes. Set for new model. In this case, we want horror on ice. So horror on ice. Do it again. Jane to hover Jane to horror, then click horror, zero it. This time we're going to get rid of the shirt. Get rid of the pants. We don't want those pants. We don't want the socks. We don't want the shoes. And we do not need the right bracelet. Granted, we don't need this one either, but there are some people who have their stuff outside of the, or even inside, to each their own. And just like in Gmod, you also change the skins. So in this case, we had it on 2, so there we go. Lastly, we picked cool and casual, so let's go ahead and get cool and casual. Here we go. Yet again, grab a whole Jane over to cool and casual, then click cool and casual, 0 it, and we're gonna get rid of the shirt, the tie, and we got what we need. What's funny enough, it does have the mirror, but I was also thinking about down the line we can also have the matchings, like have it up high or have it up low. But for now, we'll just have it this way. Last but not least, we're gonna click, open this up, click on Known. That way we get majority of all the facial expressions and the limb removals. So in this case, we want to remove the bra, the shoulders, the upper elbow, and the lower arms. Oh yeah, we need we're missing one. Horizontal eyes. Okay, it is also have pants on. So let's go back. Even I make mistakes. Go body groups. Get the pants back on. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the other one. We want this Jane. Turn that back on. There we go. Thought I should have missed something. Even I make mistakes and relearn them. Alright, let's go back to the unknowns. Alright, we definitely need to get rid of the underwear just in case. So we want to go ahead and remove the stomach. Maybe not the mid shorts. We can also use shorts up. You won't do too much on the legs, but we can do that. Hip left, no. Upper leg, no. Knee, yep. But not this knee, because that's exposed. Lower leg, fine. This one, no. Ankle left, ankle right, foot, and foot. And there you go. You got your model preset and ready. Since these are all locked, all you need to do is uncheck these ones. Then you're able to have full control of your character. So we're going ahead and hit W, move this. See where we have the regular camera. Okay. And go like this. head. If you already know how to mess with Source Filmmaker, this is pretty much easy to mess around with now. You use Control to get all this, and you just pick which limb, and then use the rotation to do the rotation. The reason why I don't do this at times because it's not really necessary. It can also screw you up too at times too. So try less freelancing and be a little more strict on it. It's not always good reason. You can use it, but it's just sometimes later on be a headache. I want to be more a little realistic on the fingers. That feels like a little off on the thumb. There we go. A lot less tension on the on the thumb. And yes, you can also use multiple limbs by going here and select multiples. Like this case, let's go back like this. Index 0, hold the control, 0, middle 0, ring 0, and pick 0, and then do it this way. But usually I don't fully recommend that. It's much better just have full control of each limb. I want this here, thank you. No, that's Jane's other hair. Nope, I don't want that one. Lower that down. We can actually use this now. We'll go ahead and mess around with this hair. Does it have any good hair we can mess with? No, just back hair. Alright. Let's lower this down a bit. Okay, we can unlock that. Go lock this. Select, make this unselectable. Reselect this. You can keep it on if you know what you're picking. Oops, wrong one. But for me, I'd rather have one at a time, so that way I know which one I'm controlling on the hair or the body. So, lastly but not least is the eyes. So since the eyes are looking this way, I want them to face my direction. So in this case, you open this one up, it says face, click on eyes, and you see this. Measure on the move, and use the move tool, and just move it around and see what you like. And yeah, also make sure the move tool shows this. And of course, since our body is facing this way, that's why you see this in an awkward position. Just fine. And then we'll go back to the unknown and just have a little expression. And we want to raise the eyebrows. And there you go. And if you're ready, well, for me, I'm going to save it because I already have it as it is. If you want to, export the poster, have it preset as an image. Like I said, the reason why I have it this way is when I go back to 4K, it already has a preset for 4K and it's on the right resolution, so I can export correct size and make the image look like it's supposed to be in 4K and not checkerboard like resolution. The false 4K resolution. You want the true one. Make sure that your SFM is set like I did right here for, once again, like I did right here for 4K. Support the poster. In this case, I'm gonna say new custom Ninjala, and hit export, and wait from there. But since I am doing it 720, it makes making the poster very long because it's going through, instead of like 4, it probably went to 16 or even more to do it. But with 4K, it'll just go down to just 4 to render each block. It was like I said, it was like in 1080. You try and make a 4K, it's gonna go through 16. Since I'm 720 with the 1080, it'd probably still do the 16. But if it wasn't 720, it'd be 4 more times of 16. So 64 blocks. No, we're not doing that. But yeah, you can export it when you're done. Like I said, this is just how to make the character. This is not for do the animation or the lighting. This is just show you guys how to do this. So I hope this helps you for Source Filmmaker, and hopefully down the line we can do the Blender version, because Blender is it's like many other people, it's like a new ball game, different ball game, sorry, because you have to go in here and actually either create your own from scratch, or in this case we're doing imports. In this case we need the MDL, the SMDs for the source engine. Yeah, MDL gives you the MDL add-on gives you the source 2s, while the SMD gives you import and export of SMDs, SMD, VTA, DMX, and QCs. So those are the main ones, and it's gonna be a lot of fun creating your character there. And also for those who are wondering, why do we have these separations for gears instead of just having one big gear like you see in the game? Reason? More customization. So you can have more different character looks. So instead of the standard what you have from the game, you can have different ideal looks. So that's the main reason. So you can have different shoes on, you can have different socks on, you have different pants, shirts, and accessories with it. That way you can have a totally different style. But of course, not all are mix and matchable. So that's why this comes in play. Because when you have something that doesn't fully match up, you can actually edit things out, or edit things in, and then you can have a totally workable mix match OC. Till then, this is Rocket Boy Down 5. I'll catch you guys next time. Later.